Ubisoft Montpellier and Ubisoft Milan are joining forces together to make a remake of Rayman Legends. Ubisoft officially announced this remake on June 2nd, 2026, and it is scheduled to be available worldwide on October 1st, 2026 on PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Alright, welcome to the channel. My name is Happy Goose Bear. Today I'm bringing some news about Rayman Legends Retold. We are getting a remake of Rayman Legends. It's featuring an all-new 3D aesthetic. It's got new content, new character models, all while staying true to the original game. I've seen a lot of people online are complaining, big surprise, about the art style changes and that we don't even really need this remake. And they probably should have just made a new Rayman game instead of remaking one that is highly accessible and very available on modern consoles and PCs. But honestly, that has not been my first impressions from this announcement and the gameplay previews at all. To be honest, I'm a little bit excited about this game in particular and the future of Rayman as a whole. So let's dive into what the devs have been saying about their vision for the game and their reasoning behind remaking Rayman Legends. So the art, first of all, it may not be better per se than the original, but it still looks good. And in my opinion, I think it looks really great, actually. In an interview from Nintendo Everything with Ubisoft Milan production director, probably going to butcher these names a little bit, but Alessandro Arntmucci and the realization animation director Marco Rinzo. In regards to the 3D art direction and the gaming engine they are using for this project, Marco Rinzo said the following, quote, "The engine is actually using two engines because for the visual aspect of it, for new levels, it's the Snowdrop engine. But inside, there is also the UbiArt framework, which is the engine where the original game was made. And the choice was to stay faithful to the original feeling of the game, so we wanted to be sure that they could stay consistent. The original game was, as you mentioned, a beloved game. It's a fantastic game. We wanted to keep what made it special, but on the other hand, make use of Snowdrop and its capabilities to push visuals, audio. So we have ray tracing, volumetric clouds, and so on and so forth." Earlier in the interview, Marco is also partially quoted saying 3D allows us to, for example, push the perspective, bend the levels, and also with the cutscenes to make the characters feel more alive. If you pay attention to the gameplay previews, especially like the one with of Castle Rock, you can see how the camera is kind of moving at different angles and different perspectives, following behind Rayman at different perspectives, different viewpoints behind him to make the environment feel more alive, feel more fleshed out, and adds more depth of field and view and just immersion into the game play. And that's, I think, something that they were going for. And they mentioned that it's also something that was kind of hard to go from 2D to 3D and implement that. And I know some people are going to say, okay, well, why did it even do it? But that's just the art style that they wanted to go with. And I don't think that's a bad decision. And I don't think that it looks bad. And obviously that's subjective in some points, but it does build on, or it does create a new platform moving forward that they can build upon, a new foundation moving forward that they can build upon. And this can be the look of Rayman moving forward, and the just the quality of Rayman that we're going to get moving forward as well. And I mean, he's been connected with the Rabbids universe for so long as well, so maybe bringing him into that same art style. I don't know, maybe we'll see even more crossover with him and Mario in the future as well. And I know that still doesn't fully answer the question of why Legends. So why Legends and not another game like Rayman 2 or Rayman 3? Why not take those and remaster them? They are harder to access. They're not as readily available as Rayman Legends and even Rayman Origins. And honestly, personally, I would love to see a remake of Rayman 2, The Great Escape. I had a blast as a kid playing it on the PS1. And even after this announcement, I went on GOG.com and purchased both Rayman 2 and 3. And I'm looking forward to playing 3 for the first time very soon. But in the same interview from Nintendo Everything, Alessandro stated that their vision in this is that he answers the question, so why Legends? Why remake it with this ambition? And he says there are two pillars we have on this topic. The first one is on the gameplay side. Legends is very solid on gameplay, so it felt like a good place to start from to rebuild the future of Rayman. The other pillar is on the world building and the story and the lore. In Legends, it's kind of a twofold. In Legends, it's kind of twofolded on this front because on one end, it's offering you a look into a very diverse world, the Glade of Dreams, the world of Rayman. But on the other end, it's offering you this look in a bit of a disjointed way. The story is a bit all over the place. You jump from one place to another. So we felt, hey, there's a super rich story here, super rich lore here. We can tie it all together and retell the story of Rayman Legends. And I love that idea. That's a great perspective of seeing the pitfalls of Rayman Legends, seeing that it has a good story, it has fun gameplay, but the story doesn't really flow together. It doesn't really mesh up together, and a lot of it has to do with those hub worlds that they talk about are going to be improved and revamped in the new one, and they're going to be more fleshed out and more specific to different worlds. And it's not just going to be one little hallway where you go into different paintings and jump from painting to painting, and Barbara just shows up and things just kind of happen, and it's a little disjointed, and it's a lot of fun, but there's no real cohesion if you're just kind of jumping here and there and everywhere. But if you flow through the storyline of it, there's an actual story that's being told, it's being overlooked a lot of times when you're playing through the original. And I can appreciate that, to tie that all together, to make it something that we can build off of, and something that we can look forward to in the future. I know as a kid, I didn't fully understand everything that was going on in Rayman 2, but I could understand that the lore was already pretty deep just in that game. In another interview from Polygon with brand manager Loic Gon, he said, as we started a new era for Rayman, there would be new games. We really want to relaunch the franchise for good, so we discussed all together internally what would be the best way to bring back the franchise. Not just what the best game to make, but what's the best way to remake the franchise. So to expand the audience, to reconnect with the fans, and to start a new adventure, basically. That's why it led us naturally to Legends, because of how complete it is as a game. It is the richest version of the world, the widest set of characters, and as we wanted to relaunch a brand, we felt we didn't want Rayman 1. We want Rayman plus Glowblocks plus Grand Minimus plus Barbara plus Bubble Dreamer as a narrator. That's how it led us to the proposition of Rayman Legends Retold. And that last point, I could see an argument against that because Rayman 2 had a lot of characters that you could pull from, and probably even Rayman 3, because I know it continues with some of the same characters. But I don't think they wanted to make a 3D platformer. I think they wanted to make this 2D Rayman Legends type of game. I think that's the style that they're looking for moving forward. Loic also mentioned companies like Capcom, which have been making some incredible remakes lately. One of the best being Resident Evil 4. The original Resident Evil 4 is a game that is also pretty accessible on consoles and PC. But they went ahead and made an amazing remake, and it's better than the original. And obviously I know, of course, that Resident Evil 4 needed a lot more changes and improvements in not just the graphical side of it, but also in the gameplay mechanics and everything involved in that game to be brought into the modern era, a lot more than Rayman Legends needs. But I don't think that by any means that means that Rayman Legends shouldn't exist. And I'm still honestly excited for it. I'm excited to play the game and excited to see the future of Rayman going forward. And on Ubisoft's own website, Loic is quoted saying, "Rayman Legends Retold is our way of revisiting what makes Rayman so special, and retelling that experience for a new generation of players. We wanted to preserve everything fans love, and Legends gave us the perfect foundation to expand Rayman's lore, its world logic, and how everything connects together. And personally, I believe that fixing the world hubs, adding voice acting and a more cohesive story, adding extra levels and story elements, and creating a new jumping off point for Rayman is a fantastic reason to start with Rayman Legends. And I'm ready to play it and I'm ready to see where it takes the future of Rayman, as I've already said multiple times. But that's not all. There is more. They are also bundling in Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition. It features 4K resolution, 60 FPS. It's got new collectibles and rewards, modern enhancements, including haptic feedback for compatible controllers, and new quality of life features. So that's going to be included in every purchase of Rayman Legends Retold. So that's just an added bonus to what's they're already giving you in the remake. It's nice that they're not leaving Origins out, because it's like, okay, why not go back to Origins if you're going to do all of this? But they're going to include it in there. You get the more cohesive package that he's talking about with Rayman Legends, and you get Rayman Origins. You get this new style that they're wanting to move forward with, and that's their new standard of Rayman. And then they're going to move forward and produce, hopefully, some pretty good Rayman games moving forward. But quickly, I'll just run down the list that Ubisoft lists on their website about all the things that are added or that are coming to Rayman Legends Retold. It's including stunning 3D visuals. It's a brand new story, fully voiced cinematics, a never before seen sixth realm, 4 all new musical stages, thrilling dragon rides, new Cave of Trial challenges, a return of Kung Foot, which they're calling Kung Foot Evo, with improved controls and customizable rules, an expanded soundtrack from acclaimed composers Christoph Herrall, I think is how you say it, and Grant Kirkhope. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Grant Kirkhope. Also, new and improved gameplay. And if you are wanting to pre-order it, you get the Hoodlick Havoc pack, which is costumes for Rayman and Glowbox. It's costumes for Rayman and Glowbox, inspired by Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc. Also, the deluxe edition, which is digital only, includes the game Rayman Origins and the retro pack, which is for costumes, including the classic Rayman outfit. So you get Rayman 1 outfit for Rayman. You get Batilla, the fairy outfit for Barbara, the retro hunter outfit for Glowblocks, and Electoon Tinsy outfit for Grand Minimus. Also, you get an art gallery an in-game art gallery. And this is the edition that I'm more interested in, is the launch edition, which is not digital only, but retail only. But sadly, it's only included for the PS5 and the Switch 2. So I don't know what I'll have to do about that. But it comes with, of course, the base game and Rayman Origins. But it comes with a Glade of Dreams printed map, a set of 3 lithographs, and a slipcase. So you tell me, what are you thinking about all of this? Are you hyped to play this again, or maybe for the first time? Are you excited to see the future of Rayman? Or maybe you hate all of this. Maybe you just hate Ubisoft, and that's understandable. But let me know in the comments, and what do you think about this? And then thanks for watching and sticking through to the end of this video.